The golden light spills across the familiar Heartland ranch, painting the vast pastures in hues of warmth and promise. Amy moves through the rhythm of her day, the quiet strength she's cultivated since Ty's departure, evident in her every action. She tends to the horses, manages the never ending tasks of the farm, Lindy often nearby, a small shadow echoing her mother's resilience. The air holds the familiar sense of hay and horses, but beneath the surface, the weight of Ty's absence remains a constant, quiet ache. It's a life built on moving forward, yet irrevocably shaped by loss. The familiar routine continues, the comfort of the known masking the lingering sorrow. Then something disrupts the ordinary. A letter lies waiting on the porch, unassuming yet holding the power to change everything. The handwriting is achingly familiar, a ghost from a past she thought was sealed. Amy's breath catches as she reads, her eyes tracing the words that seem impossible. It's from Ty. He's alive. The letter speaks of a dangerous, covert mission, a necessary silence imposed for the safety of those he loved most. He explains the forced separation, the inability to reach out, the reason shrouded in secrecy. Now the mission is complete. He's coming home. The world tilts on its axis for Amy. A tidal wave of emotions crashes over her disbelief, turning into fragile hope, overwhelming joy warring with a deep-seated fear of what this return truly means. How does one reconcile the man she mourned with the man who now promises reunion? It's a raw, vulnerable moment, the carefully constructed walls around her heart threatening to crumble. She clutches the letter, the paper thin, but carrying the weight of a resurrected life. The news is too immense to hold alone. She needs her family. The familiar comfort of the ranch house seems both a sanctuary and a place now charged with an almost unbearable anticipation. She must tell them Ty is coming back. The words themselves feel foreign, miraculous, terrifying. The quiet ranch is about to be irrevocably altered, the echoes of the past suddenly roaring back to life. Amy braces herself, the path forward, suddenly unknown, illuminated only by the faint, flickering light of Ty's promised return. The landscape of her heart, so long defined by his absence, is about to be redrawn. Too, the news ripples through the Bartlett Fleming family like a shockwave. Amy gathers Jack, Lou, and Georgie, the letter trembling slightly in her hand as she shares the unbelievable truth. Ty is alive. He's coming home. Disbelief is the first reaction, etched on every face. They had mourned him, grieved him, slowly, painfully learned to live in a world without him. Jack, the stoic patriarch, stands silent for a long moment, his weathered face a mask of competing emotions. The deep lines around his eyes seem to betray the tears he won't shed, a profound relief warring with the ingrained acceptance of loss. His usual quiet strength seems momentarily shaken. The foundation of their reality shifts. Lou, ever the pragmatic organizer, is momentarily speechless before snapping into action. Her joy is immediate and effervescent, quickly followed by a practical need to prepare. The homecoming must be perfect, a reflection of the miracle it represents. She starts planning, lists forming in her mind, her energy a whirlwind of relieved happiness and a desire to restore order to their suddenly upended world. Georgie, older now, wise beyond her years in some ways, reacts with a complex mix of excitement and apprehension. Ty was her stepdad, a figure she admired and loved. The thought of seeing him again fills her with joy, but also a nervousness born from the time and changes that have passed. How will things be? Will the connection still be there? The initial shock gives way to a cautious, burgeoning joy, a shared sense of wonder that this is truly happening. They had all found their ways to cope, to build lives around the void Ty left. Now, that void is suddenly, miraculously filled. The family unit, tested, boot and broken, feels the potential for a profound healing, a restoration they hadn't dared to dream of. The ranch, which had become a symbol of endurance in the face of loss, now buzzes with the energy of impending reunion. But as the day of Ty's arrival nears, Heartland transforms. There's an electric anticipation in the air, a tangible buzz replacing the quiet routine. It's more than just tidying the house or preparing favorite meals. It's an emotional preparation, a collective bracing for a moment that feels both longed for and surreal. Amy finds herself revisiting old memories, photos pulled from boxes, moments replayed in her mind. The joy is immense, yet tinged with the anxiety of the unknown. How have the years apart changed him? How have they changed her? How will Lindy, who only knows her father through stories and fading photographs, react to the flesh and blood man? Lou channels her energy into meticulous planning, ensuring every detail is perfect, a tangible expression of her relief and love. Jack watches it all, his quiet presence a steady anchor, though his own heart likely beats with a mixture of hope and the quiet wisdom of someone who knows life rarely offers simple resolutions. Georgie oscillates between excitement and quiet introspection, preparing herself for the reunion with the man who played a significant role in her formative years. The farm itself seems to hold its breath. The familiar pastures, the sturdy fences, the sprawling sky all bear witness to the family's emotional readiness. They talk, they reminisce, they share tentative hopes and unspoken fears. It's a process of making space, emotionally and physically, for someone who is gone but never truly absent from their hearts. The preparations are a bridge between the past they endured and the future they are cautiously daring to embrace. Each swept porch, each carefully chosen decoration is an act of faith, a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unbreakable bonds of family. Heartland is readying itself not just for a visitor, but for the return of a vital piece of its soul. For the sound cuts through the expectant silence, the crunch of tires on the gravel drive, an engine idling, then cutting out. Time seems to slow. Every member of the family gathered outside the house holds their breath, eyes fixed on the arriving vehicle. The door opens, and there he is, Ty Borden. He steps out looking slightly older, perhaps a bit more rugged, the lines on his face telling tales of experiences unknown to them. It's them. But then he looks up, his eyes scanning the familiar scene, landing on Amy and Lindy. And he smiles. That smile, the one filled with warmth, with easy charm, the one that could always make Amy's heart skip a beat it's unchanged. It cuts through the years, the distance, the pain. It's the tie they remember, the tie they loved, the tie they mourned. In that instant, the carefully maintained composure shatters. Amy moves first, almost stumbling in her haste, Lindy close behind her. There are no words adequate for this moment. It's a collision of past and present, of grief and explosive joy. He closes the distance, enveloping Amy in an embrace that speaks volumes, a silent acknowledgement of the chasm they've crossed. Tears flow freely, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming relief, of disbelief giving way to the undeniable reality of his presence. He holds Lindy close, his daughter who has grown so much, seeing her not just as the baby he left, but the young girl she's become. Her initial shyness melts away into wondering recognition, the instinctive bond between father and child reigniting. Jack steps forward, clapping a hand on Ty's shoulder, his own eyes suspiciously bright. Lou and Georgie rush in, adding to the embrace, a tangle of arms and laughter and tears. The air crackles with emotion, thick and palpable. It's a homecoming years in the making, a scene fans and family alike had only dared to dream of. The pain of separation doesn't vanish, but it's overshadowed by the sheer blinding power of reunion. Ty is home. The missing piece has returned, and for this one perfect moment, the Heartland family feels whole again. Vider, amidst the lingering euphoria of the reunion, Amy and Ty find a moment alone, away from the joyous chaos of the family gathering. The setting sun casts long shadows across the porch, the quiet beauty of Heartland offering a fragile peace. The air between them is thick with unspoken questions, with years of separate lives lived. This is the conversation that must happen, the one that digs beneath the surface of the joyful return. Amy, her voice soft but steady, speaks of the lonely years, the challenges of raising Lindy alone, managing the ranch, carrying the weight of his presumed death. She doesn't accuse, but shares the reality of her life, the strength she found, the moments of despair, the love that endured despite everything. Her vulnerability is palpable, a testament to the deep bond they shared and the wound his absence created. Ty listens, his gaze fixed on her, his own expression reflecting a torrent of emotions. He speaks of the mission, offering fragmented explanations bound by the secrecy he was sworn to uphold. More importantly, he speaks of the personal cost, the isolation, the internal battles fought far from home, the constant longing for the family he couldn't reach. He acknowledges the pain his absence caused, the choices made, the path that led him away, and the difficult journey back. It's not about excuses, but about understanding, about bridging the gap created by time and silence. There's pain in their words, the rawness of truths finely spoken, but there's also a current of unwavering love beneath it all. They are two people changed by their experiences, marked by separation, yet still fundamentally connected. This conversation isn't about erasing the past. but about acknowledging it, understanding it, and finding a way to weave their separate threads back into a shared future. As they sit in the twilight, a tentative understanding begins to form. It's not a magic fix. The road ahead will have its challenges, but it's a start. It's the laying of a new foundation built on honesty and the enduring strength of their connection. A quiet promise of healing under the vast Alberta sky. Ty's return resonates deeply with each member of the Heartland family, his presence subtly shifting the dynamics and bringing forth a spectrum of emotions. Jack, the steadfast patriarch, observes Ty with a mixture of relief and quiet pride. Having mentored Ty for years, seeing him back, weathered but whole, brings a profound sense of completion. Though Jack's reserved nature keeps the full depth of his feelings largely unspoken. Their interactions are marked by a comfortable silence, an understanding that transcends words, acknowledging the hardships endured and the strength found. Lou, initially swept up in the joy and logistics of the homecoming, finds herself navigating the new family reality. Her support for Amy is unwavering, offering a sisterly anchor amidst the emotional currents. She rejoices in seeing her sister's family reunited, her pragmatic nature finding comfort in the restored wholeness, even as she recognizes the adjustments ahead for everyone. For Georgie, having Ty back is like regaining a piece of her own past. The initial nervousness gives way to the easy camaraderie they once shared. She looks up to him, and his return fills a space she perhaps hadn't fully realized was empty. Her happiness is infectious, a bright spot reflecting the overall joy permeating the ranch. And then there is Lindy, her initial reaction, a mix of childhood wonder and shy apprehension towards this near stranger who is her father, slowly blossoms. Tentative interactions give way to moments of connection, a shared glance, a small hand reaching out, the slow rebuilding of a bond interrupted by time. Watching Ty patiently reconnect with his daughter, learning the rhythms of the little girl she has become, is profoundly moving. Each family member processes the return in their own way, their individual reactions weaving together to form the complex tapestry of the reunited family. It highlights how interconnected their lives are, how Ty's absence was felt not just by Amy and Lindy, but by the entire unit. His return isn't just the end of one story, it's the beginning of a new, shared chapter for everyone at Heartland. 7. As the premiere episode draws to a close, the Heartland Ranch settles into a new kind of normal. The immediate shockwaves of Ty's return begin to subside, replaced by the quiet hum of readjustment. The family gathers, perhaps around the familiar kitchen table or watching the sunset from the porch, a sense of unity palpable in the air. Ty is back, physically present, reintegrating into the life he left behind, yet the journey is far from over. Questions linger beneath the surface, the full story of his absence, the challenges of rebuilding trust and routine, the impact on Amy's independence and Lindy's understanding. This return isn't simply a restoration of the past, it's a catalyst for the future. It sets the stage for new storylines, potential conflicts, and the complex emotional navigation required to truly heal and move forward as a family. The final scenes might show small moments Tyree learning the farm chores, sharing a quiet look with Amy that holds both history and hope, reading a bedtime story to Lindy, bridging the gap of lost years. It's clear that his presence will fundamentally alter the path forward for everyone. The episode concludes not with a neat resolution, but with a powerful sense of beginning. The miracle has happened. Borden is home. But the real story, the unfolding drama of how this family integrates this miracle into their lives, heals old wounds, and faces the future together, is just starting. It leaves viewers with a potent mix of satisfaction and anticipation, deeply invested in the next chapter for Amy, Ty, Lindy, and the entire beloved Heartland family. The promise of season 19 hangs heavy in the air, a season defined by reunion resilience and the enduring power of love against all odds.